Hey everybody, Avilo is back. I'm back here, and I'm making another guide, another Zerg guide. I made one about larva injecting. Now we're gonna get into and this one will actually be helpful for all three races. It doesn't matter what race you play. This one will be actually pretty helpful because I'm going to give you a good example here. Once the maps load, there we go. All right, let's make Triton. So guys. This guide, oops, let me change my race to Zerg, almost forgot. This is going to be a scouting guide! Yes! I'll admit, this is a genius idea. This scouting guide, absolutely genius. Sometimes these ideas just come to me. But, I'll admit, this was a very light bulby idea, because scouting, like, I have, actually, now that I think about it, I haven't done any scouting guides in any of my videos, and I know that people say I don't scout. That's not true. Stop saying that. No player. I don't know who came up with this. Avilo doesn't scout. Like, I don't know who came up with this meme. Of course I scout. I'm a Grandmaster's level player. Everyone in GM scouts. I don't know where this stuff comes from, guys, but. Alright, anyways, so first Overlord, always send it across the map to the natural of the opponent, although there are situations where you don't want to do that. Second Overlord, you start sending this way, to the left side. So first Overlord, so already scouting, which is what this guide is about, scouting. Oh, drone scout, more scouting. Again, a lot of Zerg players don't drone scout, but guess what? I'm an infested Terran. I'm not a Zerg player. I'm an infested Terran, technically, because my main race is Terran. But my off race is almost as good as my damn Terran because Zerg is OP, let's be honest. let's just be honest. So, I consider myself, when I play Zerg, I consider myself an infested Terran. I don't consider myself a Zerg. Anyways, so this would be like SCV scouting. And I think drone scouting will come into fashion at some point. It allows Zergs to stop so many little cheesy things from the ladder. So anyways, drone scout, you can steal their gas. I'm just gonna pretend like... I like gas stealing, personally. Some people don't, some people do. Or you can just keep the drone alive and move it back, or send it back to your base. Anyways, first Overlord, you want to send to this spot right here, because it's out of vision. Let's make the third Overlord here. And I'm already gonna pre-send this Overlord. I'm gonna send it over here. Like, again, you want vision. So this Overlord is gonna go to the left-hand side of their base. And then this Overlord, again, to the natural. And also with the second Overlord, if you're really, like, if you're playing in a tournament, you could actually patrol it at your natural for, like, cannon rushes or bunker rushes. Like, you could actually send your Overlord, like, here and leave it at home more defensively, instead of sending it out onto the map. Those are decisions you make. That can change. If you're playing ladder, then, actually, you can do that on ladder, too. Depends how conservative you want to play. Normally, you just send it out to their base, which I think is usually the better thing. But if you're playing somebody you know for a fact is like a cheesy person, then I would recommend leaving second Overlord, send to your natural and like have it patrolling your natural and whatnot. I'm just gonna try and macro normally while I talk about scouting. So again, this Overlord here, this Overlord I can send over there, this one over here. So what is for Zerg? Oh, actually, you know what? Let me get Overlord speed, and I'll just make 1 trillion Overlords so that I can show you the most important spots to send them. And also, guys, this is important to know because, why is this Avilo scouting guide? How's that going to help me? Well, as a Terran player or a Protoss, you want to know where the Zerg sends his Overlords, and now you do. So, as a Terran, that's why Terrans always send their Vikings here and always here with the first Viking, because I have my hands off the keyboard, so I'm not actually macroing. But, knowing where the Zerg will send their own, like, you can have a map hack in your brain because you know, okay, well, this is where they most often send them to. And then sometimes Zergs will, oh, another thing. There are spots on the map where the opponent can't see your Overlords. If you hover, if you hover an Overlord over this thing, make sure that you right-click so that it's actually above it. Like if somebody moves by this, the Overlord is above this this little rock pillar thing, and they won't be able to see it unless they have an air unit. So if like a worker goes by or a marine or something, they actually can't see that. That's very important to know. Again, for all three, it's important to know as a Zerg, but also as a Protoss or a Terran, because you want to be aware of the fact that they might have vision there, even though from the opponent's perspective, even though from the Terran or Zerg or Protoss perspective, you might not see the Overlord there. Even in ZVZ, if you send a Ling by, you might not know that it's spot. Like, you could send, like, 30 Lings here to do a Ling all-in and not realize, like, oh shit, there's an Overlord there, and then he spotted that. So again, these things that I'm teaching you guys in these tutorials, very important to know. You might not know, now you do know. And there's spots like that, you know, this same thing over here, this Overlord, if it's above there, it can't be spotted by ground units. Same thing above this thing. Same thing above this, although if they have the watchtower, then they'll see that obviously. Same thing above this. So there's spots on maps where Overlords can essentially like hide. It's almost like hiding in plain sight. Now keep in mind, if I have an Overlord right here, above this thing, he won't, if a low ground unit passes by, he can't see it. But, because this terrain right here is on equal level to this, like, if there's a unit here, they can actually spot this Overlord. It's all about high ground and low ground. Like, the reason you can't... This counts as high ground. So that's... Like, the way the game is coded, this is high ground. So, if you're on the low ground, you don't have vision on the high ground. Just like if you're below the ramp, you don't have vision on the high ground. Like, you only have vision on the low ground, you know? So it's the same thing. This is high ground, but this is also high ground. So there you go. There's another scouting or little mechanic that you should know about. If you're on equal terrain level, then you can see what's on that terrain level if you're within vision range. So that's why, you know, that's why if an Overlord is above this spot or this spot, that counts as high ground. All right, so now I should get into creep tumors. Another good way also to scout for Zerg. This is what I like to call the token creep tumor in the main. This is the staple creep tumor you put in your main base. You actually want to put one creep tumor in your main so that you can start spreading creep through your main base to get vision, as well as so you can build spores later on. But also, in terms of Overlord placement, like, you want Overlords on the edge of the map, if possible. So I'm just going to shift-click. This is another lesson that I did in one of my other videos. Holding the shift key, deselect one by one in the unit portraits. So you can send Overlords to many different places. Actually, this is useful. Like, look at the Overlord spread on the minimap. See how they're fanning out to... I just shift-click these, so... There you go. If you haven't seen my unit selection deselection guide, watch that, because that's what I just did there. I held down the shift key, I told them all to go one spot, and then shift deselected one, tell the whole group to go here, shift deselect one, and that allowed me to just spread them out all over the map. That's a nice way to do it, instead of manually individually clicking one by one. So there you go. So why is this something important to... Why do this? Why do this as a Zerg? Because you get map vision on the edges of the map. Actually, let me mask more Overlords here. And again, this creep tumor, you see how there's a little patch missing here. If you really want to be meticulous, you can do this. But usually you'll just keep spreading it throughout your main. So again, you'll have the creep available to build a spore crawler ring, like a turret ring in your main. And you'll have complete vision in your main. So there's another scouting trick. Oh, another trick, burrowed Zerglings. You can use those around the map as well. Like, you could have a burrowedling at their choke, at their third, over here, in the different pathings. But you see how I'm getting a lot of vision just from the Overlord? So again, you just want vision mostly on the attack paths to your base. So, like, right here, here's an attack path, here's an attack path. So, oh, and maybe one here, you could have one for vision. Oh, and one over here for just, like, drop vision. For scouting incoming drops and stuff. And obviously, in a game, you're not always going to be able to do this perfectly, and your opponent will kill this a lot of time. But look at the minimap. I just want you guys to take a look at the minimap right now. Look at that vision. Playing Zerg, if you play Zerg properly and you position Overlords really properly, it's like having a map hack. I have complete vision of the map, pretty much. I almost have, I can see everything. Like, if they send something along the edge, I'll spot it. Same thing over here. It'll be spotted. Now, the only place I don't have covered is the main path on the map. And, of course, you have to remember, these Overlords can die. They can be picked off. But if he's attacking this way with medevacs and marines, this overlord droids, I now know the position of his army, and that's worth an overlord. Obviously, if you have really good creep spread, ideally you want to spread the creep out as far out of the map as humanly possible. If your opponent's good, they'll kill it. But here you go. There's you know, this is a good way to scout. Once Burrow is done here, so let me show you this real quick. So, for example, I would send one ling there. You could even burrow them underneath bases. That's another good way to scout. So you send them. Now, not a lot of players do this, but it is something you can do. You can have burrowed lings at the expansions, like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th base for the opponent. And not only will that deny them from taking them without, like, they'll need detection. Like, a burrowed ling at their ramp, that'll spot when they move out. And then same thing, like, this will delay them from taking expansions, and it's good scouting. You can also have, like, a ling burrowed on this choke point, and if the opponent, especially Terran, if they don't have a Raven, they might not even notice that, they might not even realize, like, wait a minute, he's spotting my army with burrowed lings. Like, every time I move out, like, a group of Hellions moves out, you spot it. So, there you go, guys. That's the Zerg scouting guide. Oh! I forgot to build a lair. Let's go over this real quick. Before I end this guide, the final piece of Zerg scouting, and this one I actually love as an infested Terran player myself, and this one is very, very useful. This is so useful. But as you'll see here in a moment, overseers, like mid and late game as a Zerg, and again, this is something Zergs don't do. Like, good Zergs will do it. Good, like really, really top Zergs will actually do this, especially as the game goes longer. But guys, you could build more than one overseer. You actually can do that. You can build more than one. I know that's like, people build one for detection and maybe one to send into the opponent's base. You can actually have like a pool of like 6 or 7 overseers just to send free changelings out of the map. It's free! Free units! OP! Zerg OP! Like, free... Every unit the Zerg has is OP! So, let's morph these into overseers.
Depleted.
Let's just morph these. And so, like, you
Depleted.
can have these hotkeyed with your main army. You could have them on a separate hotkey if you want. But you just press the C key, and then boom! You have changelings. So what I do is I hold shift, left click the portrait, and then I send them to different locations on the minimap. So I'm deselecting one at a time and just sending them to different places. And that's free. That's actually free scouting. It's like another very good scouting tool for the Zerg. I guess I'll do a Terran scouting guide and a Protoss scouting guide as well in the future. Right now, since I'm gonna get my Zerg to Grandmasters, I'm making the Zerg. This is the Zerg scouting tips and tricks guide. So there you go. So I think I've about covered everything for Zerg in terms of scouting. Obviously, another scouting thing. So these Zerglings, I'll just grab these lings. Let's assume that you don't have burrow. Now, and this goes for all 3 races, spotter units. Spotter Marines, spotter Zealots, spotter Lings. Now, these are... What is a spotter unit? What a spotter unit is in this... I guess... I don't know. I'm not... That's what I call them. I'm not sure if it came from, like, military terminology. Like, obviously it's scouting, but, like, this is your spotter unit. The unit you have that actually is sacrificial in nature. Just, you know, a spotter overlord on the attack path. Same thing, a spotter ling, a spotter marine, a spotter zealot. These are basically cheap infantry units, or like the cheapest units you have, that you have on a choke point, on a very commonly traversed path on the map. So, and sadly for these units, they're meant to die. This unit is actually meant to die. It's like, if you can keep it alive and run it away, that's like, if you have the reaction time to do that, that's great. Like, if you spot his army moving here and you can move this unit away and you can like he's moving forward and you run it away, then that's extremely, like, then that's really good. You're a really good player to do that, and you should. But if it dies, it's okay. Like, you're basically paying the money on this unit to give you information. So you're paying, you know, 50 minerals for 2 Zerglings. for map knowledge information. So if he comes here and kills your Ling, you know, okay, he's moving out now. If you have a Ling right here on the map, and then he moves his army here, and this Ling dies, you know, your unit is under attack. Then you know, okay, his army's right here, and then that gives you knowledge like, okay, his army is in this portion of the map. He could be dropping me. There's something happening over here. And then hopefully you try and get vision again and confirm where his army is or where it isn't. And that's another thing. Boom, so much knowledge in this video. That's another thing. Where your opponent's units are, tell you where they are not. Where they are not tells you where they are. I know this is some Sun Tzu Art of War based, like, it's a very common sense thing. But if you know where their units are, then you know where they're not. So, and if you know where they're not, you know where they are. If I have my units here, and I have vision of this, I know his units can only be here. Like, let's say this overlord dies, for example. Let's say this overlord dies. I'll just move it away. And then this part of the map is dark now, right? I don't have any scouting right here because he just killed this overlord. So his army was currently at this location on the map. By process of elimination, in the next 10 or 15 seconds, his army, where could it be? It could be traversing. The most likely is it's traversing down here to attack my third. It could be moving this way to attack my rally point. It could be moving through the rocks, but highly unlikely because that takes too much time. So you can X out that, you know, that potentiality. You know, you can X that out. It could be moving down here he could be moving around this way. But obviously the highest likelihood is if he just had his army here and killed your overlord, it's highly likely he's moving this direction or this direction, or or he could be retreating back to his base. But the most likely thing is he's attacking. And then what you can do is you can send once you lose vision when you with these scouting tools, whether it's a marine, whatever unit you had dies, you need to regain vision of that area to figure out where his army is or isn't. And this goes for all three races. So I would send a unit here, and then, you know, this unit might die, but that would confirm that his army is still headed this direction.
Depleted.
And yeah, so again, guys, having vision is not just having the vision of that spot on the map. Having the vision lets you know nothing is here, so it must be over here. That's so important. That's so very important. That's why when Terran scans, for example, a lot of times if a Terran scans your base, you'll counter scan because that means them scanning you means they want to attack you, or they want to see if that place is open to attack or not. So guys, scouting is more than just having the vision. It's also about not having the vision. If you don't have the vision, having the vision means you know where their stuff most likely will be, and you can just narrow it down. Like if you have vision, if you have vision here, here, and here, and you don't have vision over here, then you can know his stuff isn't over on this half of the map. It's over here. So there you go. That's another that's a very important mental thing to keep track. That you'll get better. As you play the game and you get better at it. Whether you're bronze, silver, diamond, whatever. Even in Masters Gym players don't do this perfectly either. But obviously, the very good players that are in Masters GM can do this. You can figure out, you can know where the guy's army is or isn't by process of elimination, and where you have vision and don't. But yeah, there you go. So there's my scouting guide. Pretty light bulb guide. I hope this was a lot of information for you guys. For Zerg, Overlord, Ling scouting, Overseer scouting, and just I'll in my next scouting and vision guides, I will try and reiterate a lot of this stuff. Will be reiterated or repeated when I make the Terran and Protoss versions of the scouting guide. But yeah, there you go. Hope this was useful information, knowledge for you guys that want to get better at the game. Spread the word. I'm doing one guide per day. This guide better be uploaded the next half an hour because I've done one per day so far, and I'm trying to be consistent with my content and like I said, at the end of 30 days, there'll be 30 guides. That's a lot of content, so hopefully people will get value to this. So, see you guys later. Peace out. Leave comments. Let me know what you want for the next guide. And, yeah, this was a very, very good idea. This scouting guide idea. It's actually kind of tough thinking of different stuff. Again, I'm trying to think. I'm running out of ideas. Keep giving me ideas, peoples. Give me these ideas. Because yeah, this is useful. This is useful information. This is useful information, guys. So I will see you later. Peace out. Scout more than ladder, and you'll move up in ranks. I will see you guys later. Peace out.